Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we feature an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1.
Kia ora, welcome to the Kopuru News. I'm Jasmine Winstanley.
And I'm Austin Fowling. In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We will help them find it. And the latest in weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house, and before you think they may have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky abode was built as a tourist attraction as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on its roof and has steel beams in the attic. Inside the house there are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom. Though it's not known if anyone has had to try have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally, a house like this would take 3 weeks to build. This one took over 4 months because workers kept getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of feeling sick and dizzy after just a few minutes inside. We now cross over to our reporter, Monique Johnson, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Monique?
Thanks, Jasmine. I'm here with the owner of the house, Noah, and his wife, Nora, and I'm feeling great. So, what made you decide to build this upside-down house?
Got sick of walking upstairs.
What comment do you feel the house makes about the state of the world?
Well, Monique, I believe in the children of the future and my hair, so...
What are some of the challenges of living in a house where everything's upside down?
It's quite hard to go toilet.
So how do you use the toilet?
Well, no comment.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Monique for Kopuru School News. Back to you, Austin, in the studio.
Yes. Thanks, Monique. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled. Special tiny crystals that make objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible. One top scientist says the possibilities are endless and we are very excited. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down, somewhere it just disappears. The inventor of the cloak said it appears they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak? Here is our on-the-spot reporter, Joel Vasey, with more on the story.
Hello, I'm Joel, and I'm with Professor Maddie, one of the scientists behind the cloak. Hi, Professor Maddie, and thanks for joining us today. What made you invent the invisible cloak?
My gut, so I can go out and get food during the middle of the night.
Can you show how this invisible cloak works?
Sure.
Whoa! What do you hope to do with this cloak?
Use it to help me so that I can get food during the middle of the night.
Who inspired you to make this cloak?
My stomach.
Oh, must be a big stomach. Well, that makes everything clear. Oh my God. Thanks for joining us. Oh my God. And we're out of time today. Over to Jasmine.
Thanks, Joel. And now, how's this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wool-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say the knitted activities of the gang are illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of woolen graffiti is growing and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is growing. Police say and warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be warmly dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. They are a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said today. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both the public and the police. We go now to a secret location with our investigative reporter, Ebony Pitini Edwards, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang members.
Thanks, Jasmine. I'm Ebony, and joining me in this top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Puff Daddy and Mean Mama. And thanks for joining us. First question. What led you to the dark underworld of knitted graffiti?
Well, this is one of the things I made, and it really inspires me because you can do lots of colours and
lots of creative stuff.
Okay, moving on. Do you see yourself as a criminal?
No.
Why not?
Because this is art and
not a crime.
Yeah.
Interesting. Apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolens?
Animals and people
anything.
And just everything and anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what amount of time do you think you should spend in jail?
None.
Your opinion?
Depending on how long how bad the crime is, it could be from 1 year to 10 years.
I agree. With a crime like that, nothing can get more worse than warm wool. Thanks for your time, Puff Daddy and me, Mama, of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go over to Kimberly and JB with the weather update.
Thank you, Ebony, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather, starting in the far north in Kaitaia. Look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there'll be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions, but those are the conditions and you'll just have to accept them. There will be no weather at all for Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but expected to be back for the weekend in Napier and Hastings. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will sometimes be changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there. And now to Kimberly for her weather report for the south.
Well, thank you, Jamie. In the Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day with no highlights at all. It'll be overcast and gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening. So don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all. And all the day, conditions will be so pleasant, they'll actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim and reading the newspaper. But try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfall, some sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms and some of very angry snow. And in the lower south of Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. Well, that's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. And now it's back to the news desk with Jasmine and Austin.
Thanks, Kimberly and Jamie. Well, that's all we have had time for. We hope you have enjoyed this evening's broadcast.
And see you again next time. Until then, I'm Austin.
And I'm Jasmine for Te Kopuru News.
Goodbye, e noho rā.
Ladies and gentlemen. Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.